a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 253. And today, the shoe's on the other foot. It's Ask Pete. We have some great questions. Don't forget that your live questions take precedence over everything. So you have a live question, just jump in there and ask it, ask away. Let me pay the bills really, really quickly. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? 101 tips on how to get more business, more margin, more traffic right now. And if you need a sales book or want a sales book, this is a book that I was just super proud of. 43 years in the making, over 2 million miles traveled, 10 other authors helped me. Scott Vaughn, Jeff Giannakovo, Brent Batterman, Chris Tahaney, Justin Trumbo, Steve Carnes, Randy Thompson, Mel Opp, Keith Castenguy, and Mark Klingenberg. Mark, by the way, is the only RSA ever that I know that sold over 1,000 smart beds when he was in his retail career. He is the vice president of Instant Comfort. This, ladies and gentlemen, represents over 3 years of sales meetings. So I think it's like $20 on Amazon. So grab a copy, enjoy it. And if you have any questions on anything, dial me up at 419-560-3169. Happy to answer any questions for you. No strings attached. So grab that book, give it as a gift to your salespeople, and train. We're in an environment where the more you train, the more success you're going to have. Guys and gals, before we go any further, I really need to thank the sponsors of this show, Greg and Steve Howe from Mattress Industry Network Group. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, this is the place. You can network. Everybody's in here. You've got owners of stores. There are some RSAs in here. You have manufacturers reps. You have vice presidents of sales. You have owners of manufacturers in here. So everybody in the industry is in here. If you are in the mattress industry, we want you in this group. And it's just a great group. And I believe over 2,800 strong, maybe more. So hit that QR code and join the group. And I look forward to meeting everybody. Guys, I've got a really quick announcement, but it's super important. One of the things that I love about this industry, and I'm just finishing my 43rd year and starting my 44th year next month. One of the things I love about this industry is we are an industry that is full of a lot of great people with big hearts. And one of my dear friends in the industry had a personal tragedy. His daughter, his husband was murdered about 3 weeks ago, I believe. And she has 3 children and she has another on the way. So 4 children are in need of your help. Chris, if you could pull up that GoFundMe, Chris will put that link somewhere where you guys can get at it. We need to help try to raise 25,000. We're about halfway there with 49 donations. Please, please give what you can. Listen, I've been in a situation where there was more month to go at the end than I had dollars. And I understand if you don't have a lot, but $10 or $20, if you're not blessed right now, and if you are blessed, give whatever you can. It's super important. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting Ashley and her 4 children, because they really are in a time of need right now. And I would hope that you find it in your heart to donate something. Now, let's get to the show, man. I get to sit back and just enjoy as my producer reads me questions. Don't forget, your questions go to the absolute top of the board.
All right. Pete Primeau, as I live and breathe. Are we, let's listen. Every time we do this, and we've got a bunch of questions that have been piped in on email from people who aren't able to catch the live show every Monday at noon Eastern. But as you mentioned, the live audience, you take precedent. We stick you right to the front of the line. And listen, it kind of helps us from rambling too much on these email questions, right, Pete? It's like every time we'll get we'll hand pick like usually 4 or 5 questions. We're lucky to get to 3, I think.
Usually, yeah,
lucky to get to 3, but we do hold those over for the next Ask Pete show. And we have to, I did put the link to the GoFundMe in the show notes and as well in the chat. So it is there. It's too long for me to read, but it's GoFundMe, support Ashley and her 4 kids after a tragic loss. That is in. And of course, our friend Chris Dehaney is already in the chat. And we have to wish a happy birthday to the one and the only Steve Houck.
Steve, happy birthday.
You're not going to sing?
I'm not going to sing. I will spare my audience their audio discomfort that would ensue from me singing.
What if we said to the chat, if we got enough votes for you to sing happy birthday to Steve Houck, that you would?
I would do anything for love.
Okay.
Meatloaf.
Yeah. Oh, so you're going to sing that instead of happy birthday? Hey, listen, I'll take Meatloaf or happy birthday.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The Meatloaf song is harder.
Really in rare form today, Chris.
Speaking of rare form, fresh off of his guest appearance on the Pete Primeau Show, Gordon Hecht says retailers are encouraged to promote every day. What are your favorite successful promos for mattress or furniture retailers? Before we even get to one Ask Pete question that's been emailed, we already have one in from the legend Gordon Hecht. Pete, what do you say?
That's a great question, Gordon. I guess I break it down into who's in the market and who's out of the market. When they're in the market, I think that holiday promotions are just natural layups. And I think we need to have a continuous ongoing health and wellness awareness program for people who are out of market, just coming into the market. Maybe we can snag them before they end up doing something that's maybe not the best for them. So I really like holiday promotions. I still love seeing a queen, a king for a queen promotion. I think that is so old, it's new again. I love when you're dealing with floor models, Jeff Janakovo's 50-50. I think it's incredibly powerful.
What is for those of us not in the know of Janakovo's or Gardner's 50-50? What is that?
So you you take the MRSP price, you cut it in half, then you take that sale price and you cut it in half again. The customer gets a crazy deal. You get rid of a floor model that is probably seen its best days. And, I would just encourage you this, I've been so blessed in this business, ladies and gentlemen. And I worked for a retailer called Kronheim's Furniture. They were so good at getting rid of floor samples. And what they would do, literally, they would put these incredibly big spiffs on there. And then they would say, this spiff is good for 1 to 2 weeks. And after that, we're going to take it off the price and give it to the customer. And you're not getting a spiff. And let me tell you something, you've never seen so many floor samples get sold at regular price in your life as by doing that. They were brilliant psychologists. They gave you enough time, but not too much time. So that it was at the top of your mind. You're like, hey, if I need to make some extra money, this is what I need to do. Getting back to the promotions, as I said before, Gordon, I love all the holiday tie-ins. I think it's super important to include a finance offer. It's more important now than ever, and multiple finance offers, multiple price points in the ads. If you just promote price, they're going to assume that you're a junk store. One of the most important things you can include, if you've got 41 models on the floor, a banner that says over 40 models to choose from. If you got 67 models, over 66 models to choose from, you have to get one of the reasons a customer comes to your store is the idea of selection. And that's the only way to really get it across to them. Now, you can do some open-end price points, some mid-price points, and some upper price points. Not advertising some of your upper price points can be a mistake because they will assume that you don't have them. And so there are customers in the market. As a matter of fact, I would say this today with inflation is still not buttoned up yet. I mean, I've heard people, saying it's over. It's not over. It's still there. It's still a factor. People are afraid for their jobs. There are job losses in the news, and people are a little bit afraid. So the really well-heeled consumer is still in the marketplace, more so than the promotional customer. So if I was going to err on one side or the other, I would go after that upper customer more. And that wellness message that needs to be playing constantly, because here's the deal. If you look at it, there is never, ever more than 10% of the population in the marketplace at one time. And it's probably closer to 1%, really, in reality. So, when we're doing a promotion, we're appealing to a very small segment of the buying public. When you're doing a wellness messaging campaign that your place is the place to buy because you have experts, because you're going to fit them for the right sleep system for them, and that you have all these good benefits to offer them. They're going to get a better night's sleep. They're going to be healthier. It'll be a better mother, father, policeman, fireman, whatever they do, salesperson, whatever it is that they do, they will do it better. Modeling testimonials in your advertising is important. There should be at least one in every ad. You should be pushing people to your website where there's a testimonial page, and whenever possible, use the customer's real name, because people are more doubtful than ever, but you have to have permission to do that. So model testimonials, model 5-star online reviews, model referrals, so that they know that, hey, good customers at XYZ mattress store or good customers at XYZ furniture store, they refer other customers, so that when you do ask for that referral, you get it. Because Your success isn't tied to making one sale. Your success in today's new world is tied to getting testimonials, getting 5-star online reviews, and getting referrals. Without those three, you're not going to be successful long-term in the new business environment we find ourselves in. Thank you, Gordon. I would love if you would throw in your comments, Gordon, your favorite promotions, because you are an absolute wealth of knowledge, and I would like to see that. But I think Chris is going to move me forward. We've got
Gordon says happy birthday to Steve Hauk, and we have somebody here. This is I recognize that avatar.
Okay,
That's Sarah.
Okay.
She's
so
she wants to hear you sing.
I'm gonna sing with one caveat.
Okay,
that you, Chris Stone, producer extraordinaire, sing with me. Oh yes, you're gonna sing with me. So if Tara asks, so here's the thing. If Tara asks me to do something, I have to do it because she is just so good to me. I have to do it. So, Mr. Hauk, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stevie. Happy birthday to you and many more. Don't be a bore. I know you won't do that. Chris,
too late,
play
Kristen.
the guitar.
Too
All
late,
right,
Kristen.
sugar. I knew you'd be in there. Thank you for being here, Kristen. Appreciate you. Yeah,
Tara, you did it.
That was got it. We embarrassed ourselves. My wife's rolling her eyes in the other room. I don't even need to see her. I can see her going, really? Did he just do that? And Chris went right along with it.
Of course.
Yeah, gold record in the making. Now that is precious. Thank you, Tara.
All right. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to actually get a question. But just like Gordon did, if anyone else has a question, you go to the front of the line. Let's go to the first question from Opportunity in Ohio. Pete, we all heard the news that Manwa, is that how I say that?
Yeah.
Manwa was possibly taking an ownership position with Value City Furniture a couple of weeks ago. Then last week, Value City Furniture announced their Chapter 11. I saw the articles in our trade publications. Based on your experience and connections, do you think they can emerge from their Chapter 11? Thank you in advance from Opportunity in Ohio.
I have a few people that think they can emerge. I have more that say they can't, that it's just too much to overcome. But I'd like to have a little fun. Chris, you up for having a little fun?
I think we've already had. Can there be any more fun than what we've already had?
Be more fun. Let's go ahead and open up chat.
Oh, we want Chat GPT. It's time for Chat GPT. Let's get this. Let's get this on the screen here.
Here is the prompt.
All right.
Value City Furniture has announced Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Period. Bankruptcy. You need a C in there, but brother.
Go. This is high pressure prompting.
Has announced Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yep.
Please give me a detailed report, SWOT analysis, capital S, capital W, capital O, capital T.
Yep, got it.
Period. What are the chances that they emerge successfully from this Chapter 11 bankruptcy? And I'm always really polite.
I know you say please. You know this is a robot, right? You don't have to be.
I know I'm nice to robots because they're going to take over the world. I might as well be nice to my master.
All right. So Value City Furniture has announced Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Please give me a detailed report, please, pretty please, and SWOT analysis. What are the chances that they emerge successfully from this Chapter 11 bankruptcy?
Make that a question mark at the end.
Okay. I'm sure.
I know it probably doesn't make a difference, but
All right. Do you want to attach a piece of cake, or anything else
lollipop,
nice?
maybe.
A lollipop. Is this good? You want me to hit send?
Hit send.
All right. We're sending the prompt. This is ChatGPT 5.1, and we're thinking. You want to sing a song for Tara while we wait for ChatGPT to give us the answer?
So I'm going to give you some inside baseball while chat is, basically going through the entire web and sorting through all the information that's out there. As we speak, there are more and more articles about them shutting down stores. So they are in the process of shuttering some stores. Now, they had well over 100 stores. So it's, they can shut down quite a, they probably have to lose 20 to 30% of the stores to even have a chance of making it, the low performance stores. I would tell you this, that I know for a fact that they are shopping their distribution center, which is incredibly huge. And that is an incredible tell. So I believe that they're not. A Chapter 11 bankruptcy was a way to buy some time as they get through the next few steps. But when you have your entire distribution center up for grabs, you're not planning on making it.
We have so many words. We're being completely the word salad that we're tossing here out of ChatGPT. I tell you what I'm going to do, because there's no way we're going to be reading all of this.
Oh no, we're not going to read all this.
It still is a ton. It's only on opportunity. So we haven't even gotten to threats yet on the SWOT analysis. But this is about as much detail as our opportunity in Ohio needs. But one little quick thing that you could do is to go back and ask that it gets summarized into, the size of a one sheet, or something like that. Give me a more of a summary of this. And, but this is just, it's still going.
So let me tell you what it's going to say. It's going to say that Value City is a very strong regional player in Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and several other states. They're weaker in some of the southern states. They should shutter those stores in the southern states. Their name brand recognition is strongest where they were founded in Ohio. One of the things that is interesting is because of how long they've been in business, they are more well recognized with the consumer in their strong central markets, those 5 or 6 states, than the next biggest guy, which would be Ashley. So they're going to need to shutter at least 20 to 30% of their stores. So do I think that they can make it? Yes, I do. I also think that there is an overwhelming chance, 60 to 70% chance probably, that they're going to end up following this up with a Chapter 7. Do you want to go ahead and ask for the summary now?
Yeah, I mean, what I find interesting here is we got down to the reasoning here. It says exactly what you're saying, what it means for independent furniture and mattress resellers, especially in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky, and West Virginia.
So will there be some stores available for you, opportunity in Ohio? Yes, there will be.
It says Michigan and Ohio.
Yeah, there will be. So
some of the big box spaces will be relet or repurposed. provide me a much shortened summary of everything that would fit onto a one sheet of or digital PDF.
Or
Speak to
equivalent.
me like I'm in 6th grade or something like that. Scott Vaughn has a question, Pete, while we wait for this shortened summary. He wants to know, how did you like the pecan pie? Pecan
Oh my
pie.
Lord, the pecan
Pecan
pie
or
was
pecan?
fabulous. There's a picture on Facebook of me with my pecan pie. I absolutely loved it. Thank you, Scott, for your hospitality. So here's a little inside baseball. Me and Jenny and Christiana, we celebrated our Thanksgiving on Wednesday together. And then I started driving at just a little before 10 o'clock in the morning to go to Scott Vaughn's house. And I spent the evening with Scott Vaughn and Jordan Vaughn and his family. And they couldn't have been more gracious. I don't know how many people were there. If you told me 70 or 80, I would have said, but it's probably about right. But I had a great time. And thank you for your hospitality, Scott. And it was great working with you and Jordan and Jacob and the entire team. The next day, that's the pecan pie right there, guys. And yes, it was absolutely killer, Scott. So I appreciate
Looks like it went right to your waist.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's actually smaller than it normally is, so I'll take it. But it's bigger now. I'm going to have to go no carbs at least for a week to get back.
This must be the dessert table. There's pie. There's
There's all kinds of stuff in there.
Outstanding. All right. So it looks like we got a summary that's longer than a page. Let's see here. Let me share this tab here. Here's the SWOT overview.
Chance that they give it.
Strengths: long-standing regional brands, 75 plus years with name recognition, large installed customer base, backing from Schottenstein, an experienced retail sponsor, and prearranged stock and horse bid plus dip financing, gift structure, and liquidity. Weaknesses: high leverage and large unsecured trade debt, significant retail sales declines and operating losses, big box, high fixed cost model, and soft demand environment. Vendor relationships are under strain. Opportunities: they're going to use Chapter 11 to close weak stores and shed bad leases, tighten assortments and focus on higher margin categories, refresh omni-channel financing options and logistic with leaner cost base. Here are the threats: prolonged housing softness and elevated interest rates, intense competition from national chains, clubs, and e-commerce, customer hesitation around bankruptcy, vendors tightening terms, and then execution risk in court-supervised sale and the reorg process.
So there's a couple things in there that are really important. If you're a furniture retailer, it's interesting that AI comes back and says, focus on mattresses. Did you see that? It's up a couple lines from where you are now, but it said to focus on mattresses for margin. Go up a little higher. Where is it? Right. It's right. It's got to be in there somewhere. Yeah. Tighten assortments, focus on higher margin categories, e.g. mattresses.
They're saying mattresses is an opportunity.
Yep. Most furniture retailers do not do a good enough job with their mattresses. In terms of merchandising, advertising, and training, there's usually a lot of work to be done. All right. Any other questions? Or are we done? That was a good show, man.
Not so fast. You got to sing happy birthday again. All right. So question number 2. And again, if you are in the chat, we see some folks that are watching us live. Give us a shout out. But if you got the guts, ask a question or two. All right, here we go. Pete, This is from Curious in Texas. Hiya, Pete. I heard mixed reports about Black Friday. I know you are connected to big and small retailers throughout the U.S. How did Black Friday go across the country? Are there any common strategies for merchandising, advertising, and or sales practices that are winning at retail that you can identify? Curious.
Your follow-up question, Curious, is fascinating, and I could take the rest of the show doing it. So I'm gonna say this based on all the. So I was really blessed that I worked at Happy Z's on Black Friday. They had a fabulous day. It started off a little slower than Jordan would have liked, but it turned out to be a super strong day. And I'm just going to say this. Most mattress retailers would like to do in a month what Happy Z's did in one day. All right. I'm just going to say that. If you want to know more details, you can ask Jordan and he'll share them with you if he so chooses. So super blessed to be with that group. And by the way, I love those kids. The energy that is in that store makes it almost impossible to leave. I mean, it is rarefied air. What the culture that Scott created and Jordan has continued and made even better is fantastic. And then I went to Cumberland that night. I actually stayed at Chris and Kylie's house. Thank you for your hospitality, Chris and Kylie. I had fun at breakfast, and I gotta say this. Brad, thank you for the homemade salsa. It was awesome. And Becky, those smoked deviled eggs and the bacon and those pickles, that was just at a whole nother level. But the funny thing was what she wrote on this, what she wrote on the container. It's absolutely hilarious. I'm sending it to you now, Chris. Just so you can see this. So I get handed this on Saturday morning, and it says Pete Primetime Primo. So Becky, thank you for your sense of humor. Thank you for the goodies, and Brad, thank you. So, and they had a fabulous Friday and a fabulous Saturday, the best I know. So I would say that overall, in broad strokes, it was good. It wasn't good for everybody. So, Curious in Texas, you really asked a very insightful question. What are the common threads? There's a few. So those who to Gordon's point earlier, those who really went after Black Friday, for the most part, got it. So aggressively promoting their event was huge. So that's one of the common threads. The other common thread was those companies, in terms of merchandising now, that offered split heads did better than the companies that didn't offer split heads. Those companies that offered two-sided did better than the companies that didn't. And here's another one. Latex. The companies that have all latex beds and latex hybrid beds did better than those who didn't. So, three merchandising commonalities: split head, two-sided, and latex, and aggressively promoting. Stores that have been around for a long time and have a history of promotion. Some of the powerful regional chains I know did very well. They were very happy with their business. And you got to remember, those those guys and gals have a hard time making their numbers every year, year in and year out. And last year was good for Black Friday. So there were some big numbers that people had to hit. But it wasn't good across the board everywhere. I wouldn't get hung up if you had a great Black Friday or a so-so Black Friday, because what I heard a lot of is we didn't have a great Black Friday, but we had a great small business Saturday the very next day. It was through the roof. So as long as, if you start, if you just say Friday through Monday and you look at that block of business, so it goes through the end of today, I would look at that block of business and compare it to last year. And if it's, if it's up, great. If it's not up, but you had a really big weekend last year, that's good too. Business has been slightly down. Traffic has been slightly down. And so, the only way you can make up for it is with better tickets. The other common theme, I cannot tell you how many Dream Fit sheets and protectors were going out the door. Handfuls throughout the day at Happy Z's. It just literally made my heart sing. Those stores that aggressively promote the sleep system, that includes an adjustable bed, that includes a nice set of sheets, that includes a mattress protector, that includes a new set of pillows, and protection, the insurance on their purchase. Those that go after those things do much better than those who don't. And bundling is really a big thing. Bundles have been used off and on throughout the years. The guy that probably perfected bundles is Scott Vaughn. His son continues that tradition. Jordan continues that tradition at Happy Z's. They do a great job selling bundles, giving the customer everything they need in a good, better, and best bundle. So those are the common things that I would say are the quote keys to success. And listen, Curious in Texas, if you're not doing any of these things, don't beat yourself up. Shop your competitors, see who's got what, and stop giving them an advantage. So you shop all your competitors, right? And none of them have latex, none of them have two-sided, and one of them has a split head, some split heads on their floor. Make sure that you put split heads in there first. Okay. Here's why. Stop letting them take that ground. Put your flag in the ground and don't allow that business to be walking out of your store anymore. Then add two-sided, then add latex. Make sure that you're going after, the sleep necessities, sleep essentials business. It's super important. Everybody deserves a new sleep system. Everybody deserves to get a good night's sleep. When you sell just a mattress, you're not doing your job completely. You need to solve the entire problem for the customer to help them get a better night's sleep, help them wake up happy and pain-free, and more importantly, help them have the quality of life that they desire and potentially a longer life. Because if they are not sleeping on the right sleep system for them, they're not going to get the kind of sleep that they need to have the longest life possible. And more importantly, for me, from my perspective, is the life that are in the years. Like you are more energetic. You're better at being a mother and a father. You're better at being a son and a daughter. You're better being whatever you do, policeman, fireman, salesperson, it doesn't matter what you do, you'll be better at it. Our teachers, we need teachers who get a great night's sleep and are fully recuperated to help teach our children, right? It's super important. What we do is the most important thing anybody does outside of a policeman or a fireman who save people's lives. We save people's lives, but we save it over time, not in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
But we have incredible impact. Incredible impact. There is not a salesperson alive that has more power in their hands to change someone's life for the better than a sleep system salesperson. So remember that you are blessed. You have a position of responsibility, and you need to be the absolute best you can, not for you and for your benefit, for your customers' benefit. So I'm sorry I got off and I started
Bam,
preaching.
Pastor Pete, man, I'm gonna let you
happens.
preach.
It just happens. I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
think we're gonna have an altar call because we got people in the chat there. Steve Hauk says, "Good afternoon, fellas. I know I'm tuning in late, but I'd love to hear Pete's feedback on the Somni and Leggett news." Steve, you need to go back, man. You got to go back. Team replay, rewind that player, because there's a special thing just for you. We're not going to ruin it. Chat, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it, chat. Steve, you got to go back. You got to go back on this video. I mean, that's a once in a lifetime thing. We're going to get to Steve's question here as well, Pete. But we do have this. You do have this thing that you sent me per your earlier mention, Pete.
Becky, that
Primetime
was
Primo.
Becky's gift to me when I saw her on Saturday morning. I had smoked deviled eggs for the first time in my life. They were awesome. Thanks, Brandon. I was preaching. I'm sorry.
Man,
it happened.
the congregation has spoken. Like we need more Pete Primeau preaching. Clearly, so Scott Vaughn chiming in. You nailed it, Pete. For sure. And we're getting lots of Andy. Andy says, Pete, lots of big changes going on. Thanks for joining us, Andy. Anybody's got any questions or comment, we're going to put you to the front of the line. Krista says, we had the best Black Friday. Sales were up.
Krista, hey, thank you for being here. And I'm so happy to hear that. I loved meeting you at Scott Vaughn's masterclass. And that's great. Thank you for sharing the good news. I think it's really important that we share good news in this industry because, you know, we were kind of almost all of us brought up to kind of, you know, be humble, you know, don't brag. And we're sometimes a little bit leery to share our successes when we really need to be sharing our successes, especially when it will help lift somebody else up and help another store owner feel empowered to start to do some new things. So thank you, Krista, and appreciate you being here.
Yeah, and Krista, let us know. What did you do? What made was it just was it something special, a little tweak that you made that maybe you could share in terms of best practices for the viewers and listeners? So let's get to Steve. Happy birthday, Steve Hauk, by the way.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Good afternoon, fellas. He says he's tuning in late, but he wants to hear your feedback, Pete, on the Somni and Leggett news.
Steve, I really don't have any feedback on that yet because I don't know enough about it. I had a bunch of discussions with people about the Value City thing. And I just haven't been able to digest this. Do you want to put this in a chat?
Says Somni Group proposes to acquire Leggett and Platt in an all-stock transaction. So this is just fresh news as of a couple of hours ago.
Let's put it in AI and see what they see. Somni Group is proposing to acquire Leggett and Platt.
Hang on a sec. Let's do this. Summarize this.
Yeah, that's the key.
And give an analysis of it. And we're going to see what happens. We'll let that cook. And we'll see what since we have this open.
We're gonna continue to work on that, Steve, unless it spits it out really, really fast. So if I've read that correctly, it's they're kind of floating it right now. It's not like a done deal. Here we go.
Well, it's going. Let's see how much, how much it goes, right? Steve, you let us know if you go back on replay. When this finishes, and this may be, yeah, I mean, it's too much to absorb, and it not the most scintillating live video content while we wait for ChatGPT to spit out a bunch of words.
The interesting thing that I saw very quickly was it might be further along than that headline indicated. So they might have accepted the shares that were proposed. So we'll get back to that. Let's jump in, and I know we have more questions, so let's try to get another one out.
Yeah. So we're going to go to, this is looking for answers in Alabama. Hi, Pete. I don't hear anyone talking about how to transition a retail business to the next generation. What are the keys to a successful transition based on your experience?
Boy, that is a great question. And just some inside baseball. I asked Jordan and I asked Scott Vaughn to come on my show. We're going to get and we're going to talk about this subject because they are in the process of transitioning that business to Jordan. I think Scott's going to chime in and say, no, it's transitioned. But transition happens over time. So there are some things, answers in Alabama that I would ask you if you're here right now and you're listening. I'd love to know if you're the spokesperson for your company, if you do your own commercials, if you are the voice of the company, you're going to need to continue to do that for some time. And I know that, sometimes owners get to a place where they're done. They've worked really, really hard for 40, 50, 60 years. And now it's time. It's ready. The business is ready to be transitioned. So what was it? The question specifically about families, or was it just transition in a business?
It was
the next generation. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is really important. That you look at the business completely. And the easiest way to do that is to take my framework and just work your way around that framework. Chris, if you could pull that up when you get a chance, it does not need to be like the second. Well, it is the second. So everything starts with advertising. So look at your advertising. And here are some of the questions I want you to ask yourself. How much am I involved in the advertising? Are you the spokesperson, which I already mentioned? In display, how involved in merchandising, how involved in sales education, how involved in delivery, how involved in service. The most important thing after you make a sale is to complete it in a way that the customer wants to give you authentic online reviews, preferably 5 stars when possible, testimonials and referrals. How involved are you in each and every one of this? So you're going to have to literally take this framework and just list it out. And then you're going to have to ask yourself a question. If you're great in, let's just make it simple. Let's just say it was Scott and Jordan. If you were like great in your son or your daughter, who you're transitioning the business to in each one of these areas, where do they need more support? Where do they need more education? Where do you need to help develop them to the point where you can be completely free of this company, and they can do it on their own? Now, the one thing that I mentioned, if you have been for the last 30 or 40 years the voice of the company and the face of the company, you're not going to easily extract yourself out of that. And what you guys see with Jordan and Scott, they are very successfully transitioning this business. Scott is still in there doing some of the commercials because he's the face and the voice of the company. But Jordan is getting lots of reps and lots of time in those commercials, and he is starting to become more and more the face and the voice of the business. And within a few years, Jordan will be the voice of Happy Z's and the face of Happy Z's. So transitioning, can be tricky, but having a good game plan for it is the most important thing, and having a structure for it. Most of the time it's structured as a monthly payment to the previous owner. I'll never forget one of my dealers. He was really happy and business wasn't especially good. It was years ago. And I go, "Why are you so happy?" He goes, "I just made the last payment for this business to my father, and this business is now mine." And, he made those payments for like 15 years. And he was very proud of himself that was completed. And he also wanted to enjoy some autonomy. Not that he wouldn't ask his father, but he didn't have to ask his father with his father still, being the owner until the bill was actually paid. He was now free to run that business exactly the way he wanted to. And the business blossomed under him. So I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, answers in Alabama, just if you're watching right now, just type it in and we will answer it for you. If not, in the next few weeks, Jordan and my friend Scott will be on the show, and they're going to share some inside scoop on how to successfully transition a furniture or a mattress store. It's going to be great stuff. So
we've got the chat room lighting up, and Gordon decided to take a shot at me, the Michigan fan, because he's clearly an Ohio State fan. He says that his favorite promotion is the Chris Stone promo. Your purchase is free if Michigan scores a touchdown versus Ohio State. Gordon,
you are such a kind fellow, and I see you chuckling right now. I got to tell you, Chris, I know that hurts, but Gordon doesn't have a bad bone in his body. He's
I know. And Gordon, it only took you 2,191 days to come up with that, Chad, because that's how many days it was between Ohio State victories against
and
Michigan.
The only reason it took, you can take 365 days off of that number because you guys just ducked us during COVID.
Oh, come on.
You ducked us. Oh, we're too sick. We can't play. Come on. Seriously, dude. Anyway.
Hey, listen, maybe they were, maybe they weren't. And Steve says it's a question for Mattress Mac. The only transition is death. Thanks, Steve, for making it dark. And Kristen Sugar says, interesting article on Somni. First thoughts to the big picture of Somni Group carries enormous implications for the industry if this deal moves forward. Positions Somni in ways that competitors simply cannot match. The level of competitive intelligence they stand to gain is unprecedented, and it will serve as a catalyst to accelerate the innovation and market leadership. Crazy growth strategy on their part. They are always thinking.
Yeah, I agree with Kristen on that. At the same time, it's scary, Kristen. And what we're seeing clearly is an acceleration of the consolidation of the industry. When, it wasn't too long ago that TSI bought Mattress Firm, and there's all kinds of things. Manuel was going to buy Value City, but my gut feeling is the other people that were owed money wouldn't agree to it, and they couldn't. And when they did their due diligence, they found out, oh my Lord, this thing's in bigger trouble than we thought. And no, we're not going to do that. Even though we would love, as the largest creditor owed money, we'd love to take a position if we thought they could come out of it. But I think the fact that Manuel pulled out of that. So yeah. Then they infuse money with Purple and Kings Down. I know it's there are a lot of implications, and it's not too far-fetched to just understand that the consolidation is going to continue. But along with consolidation comes opportunity. They're going to have a lot of competitive intelligence, more than they've ever had. But that doesn't mean there's not room for a good retailer who offers a superior consumer experience. So, having feet on the ground and deep roots in the community will always overcome size. Yes. Yep.
Kristen says, again, they're always thinking strategy. We did get a comment from Chris Tehaney earlier. And Chris, your question got cut off, and we got some of it, but not all of it. But I think we can summarize this here as we head home. And it looks like this is Steve chiming in from YouTube. They have more data than anyone on the planet. But I'm not sure if we've got time to do this, and it's not a complete question. He says, hey, Pete, the director of sales for a large retailer you're familiar with in Ohio recently announced that over 80% of the sales team that worked most of 2024 is still there, making more income than last year. That the median salesperson is up 4.4% in sales, and that they're pacing to have 15% more people write over $1 million in sales over last year, and 20% more over $750K. Are some retailers just blessed while others are cursed? And then there's another question that I got cut off because there is a limit.
Chris,
there.
Go ahead and type in separately what should. So let me say this.
Oh, here we go. What should struggling retailers be thinking about right now going into 2026, not waiting until 2026?
So I think the real question for RSAs is this. What is my mental attitude? What is my mental attitude towards my customers? Do I see myself as someone who serves them? Do I understand clearly that my customer is the big winner when we do a transaction? Because I'm going to help them get a better night's sleep, wake up with more energy and more passion to do whatever it is that they do, whether they're a mother, father, policeman, fireman, whatever they do. And what do I, as a salesperson, do every day to make myself better? Those are the real questions that should be asked from when in the same stores, you've got some top performers accelerating their growth and others are just 4.4% up. You've got to ask yourself, what are the attitudes and what are the strategies and what are the daily behaviors of a top performer? Top performers don't wait for their company to train them. Top performers buy books like this, and then they ask me tons and tons of questions. You know, that's what they do. They listen to podcasts. They never stop asking questions. Every top performer, when I go into a store, will not let me go until they've asked me several questions. The low performers, they don't want to ask me any questions. They don't want to answer any of my questions. As a matter of fact, they can't wait for me to leave because they don't want to listen to me telling them how to more effectively present product to customers. They don't want to listen to it. But a top performer is always inquisitive.
Curious.
He or she cannot get enough training. And if they're not getting the training that they want from their company, they go out and they create it. I think that's what you really need to think about. And so that kind of connects, Chris, over to this. Our other retailers, if they want to duplicate that success, they have to train some more. And here's one of the craziest things in the world. And I've got a bunch of retailers like this. They were the best salesperson in the chains that they worked for. And then they became a store owner. And their sales acumen and their sales ability has actually atrophied because they don't work their sales muscles every day. They have their salespeople on the floor doing it. They're not doing it as much. They're, taking care of business. They are making sure the advertising goes out. They are making sure the displays look good. They are making sure that the customers get their deliveries. And often they stop training and they stop learning about sales. And so this is what I would beg every store owner. Doesn't matter if you're the only person on the floor or if you have 10 salespeople on the floor. Never stop learning about sales. Never stop learning about your industry. Be a student of the game. Encourage everybody that works for you to be a student of sales, to be a student of our industry, and to constantly get better. Chris, one of the things that you've done is you went out and became a certified sleep consultant. Everybody that sells mattresses, whether you're in a furniture or a mattress store, should get some kind of a certification in being a sleep consultant. You should understand how sleep works and be able to connect that to your products in a way that's beneficial for the consumer. And with all of that, I'm just going to say this. Those retail salespeople and store owners who go the extra mile, they ask tougher questions of the customers, they delve deeper, they take more risks, and they don't stop until they're absolutely convinced that they've done the best they can do for their customer. Those are the ones who win. The ones that, fold up their tent the first time a customer says, I want to think about it, and just let them walk out. Shame on you. Because if you believe that you're the best person in the market and you should to take care of this customer, you should not let them walk. You should learn everything you can about not letting them walk. That includes my book. It includes Bob Munkle's stuff. It includes Brent Batterman's stuff. It includes Jeff Janakovo's stuff, MRT. You guys have to do everything you can to be the best you can and really, truly care and out-service your competition. That's the key to winning today and it always has been, and it always will be. Work harder, work smarter, and really have your customers' best interest in your heart of hearts. It will show. Trust me, it will show. It always does. So sorry I got up on my soapbox again, and we're
we got a
way out of
bonus
time.
sermon. We got a
went
bonus
five-
sermon from Pastor Pete.
We went 5 minutes over. Thank you, Chris Tahaney, and thank you, Chris Stone. Also, rewatch the show already. Thanks for the birthday wishes. We have we serve a great community of mattress people. Yeah. Happy birthday, brother. And Brandon Bain, you're either getting better or falling behind. There's no third direction. Amen, Brandon.
There it
And
is.
the best hire you ever made was Brent Batterman. Well, I don't know. I guess I could say Steve Ferguson, but who's that guy? Just kidding. Ferg, I love you, brother. I love your pink your pink shirts and your pink outfits. So but Brent's my boy, Brent Batterman. Brent Batterman and Bob Munkle are rarefied air when it comes to sales training. You guys need to get all of their stuff and get them in front of your salespeople. So Chris, thanks for a great show, man. Had a lot of fun. It went by quick, didn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get you certified as a pastor of mattress sales, and we'll have Ask Pete. It looks like Brandon says Brent owes you $20.
Did you hear my precious bride? My precious bride, Jenny, who doesn't have a mean bone in her body, was just doing OHI. Chris,
she waited to the end of the show because I would have hit the eject button.
Family for that outburst from my wife.
It only took you 2,191 days, Jenny. But
she said, "Well, we have to suffer through the Browns, so we're enjoying Ohio State right now." And we do suffer with the Browns. Trust me, it hurts.
All right, Pete. Thanks again for another great Ask Pete. And I guess we'll let you sign this off.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all the great questions. And go forth and sell a million. Take care.
And have fun.
Have fun and sell a million.
All right.
He knows.